Right at this minute, we should be in camp, we should be there. We've got to get through this log jam, the next log jam, and then about 2 k's downstream, so actually might be a late setup for camp tonight. But that's all right, it's all part of the adventure. Good morning. One of the best things about going camping is cooking up a feed for brekkie. This morning we're having some bacon and egg wraps. So bacon's already cooked, just doing the eggs. I'll tell you, there's nothing better than the smell of a campfire, bacon and eggs, nice cup of coffee, a nice silent hum of a generator in the background, and knowing I'm only 20 metres, some awesome fishing. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
Just going to drop the morning damper in the camp oven. It's just it's a fruit loaf cake basically, because it's got a bit of lemonade in there to sweeten it up. The boys don't like it too sweet, so I've taken the sweetened condensed milk out. They were complaining about getting diabetes last year, but we'll drop that in. Get a few coals on top of it as well. It's nice and warm in there. About 35 minutes in the camp oven and she's done.
Do you want to get all them blowflies off, Wood?
No, this is flavour. Mate. Bush flavour.
Yeah, so we're just cooking a couple of morning damp ovens. We've just got self-raising flour, milk and some sultanas in it. Just heat it up and then we'll stop at about 10 o'clock and have a smoker, a cup of tea and our damper and it'll be beautiful.
We've spent 2 days on the river now, and last night we camped about 100 metres away, and a few of the boys had to do their morning business, and one of them found this croc slide. He's come up the bank here behind me and over the top into a puddle of water, maybe only a week or so ago because there's no water there now. You can see his claw marks as he's clawed his way up over the slippery bank, and then he's just had a nice casual slide all the way back down here. So it just goes to show you've got to keep on the lookout and stay vigilant. Like, these things are always around, and I know you're going to see us in the water trying to push boats through, but it's one place that you don't want to be for very long. Sometimes it's necessary, I guess, and you've just got to do it.
Whoa, Woodster.
How's that looking?
Looking good, mate.
Got any brown on top yet?
Nah, we'll top up top up a bit of fresh coal on top just to brown it up.
We warned the Jasons when they came down the river for the first time about widowmakers, which are the wet season fills this up with about 15 or 16 metres of water at the peak of it. So there's a lot of debris up in the trees, and bumping into logs and trees and stuff when you're floating through the river can often bring them down. But we got to this camp just on dark last night, and I set my bed up, and where I've set my swag up, directly above my bed, right above it, about another 12 metres up in the tree, is a big widowmaker that's just precariously just hanging there. So if I spotted it during the day, I definitely wouldn't have set my bed up there. So just goes to show you just got to always watch out above as well as what's going on in the water.
We had a string of bad luck yesterday. We've had a snag up with one of the lures, and we've tried to retrieve the lure, and in that process snapped the rod. Lucky for me that rod wasn't mine, but I'm sure I'll have to pay for it. Not too far after that, we've been travelling down the stream and gone through a bit of a rapid where there's a few logs and rocks in the way, and anyhow we've hit a rock, broken the prop in place. He's fallen over and snapped his reel.
Yep, I've gone down right in my hand, come down on the reel, snapped the reel clean here. So the one rock cost us the shaft of the motor and a reel.
We've done a bit of a repair job, put some kneaded and some zip ties on the motor just to give it that extra bit of support. So that should be enough to get us through the rest of the river. And everyone's giving me a hard time about breaking other people's property. And just on top of that, I've gone off to do my morning business with the one and only camp shovel. And in the process of digging a small hole in the sand, I've broken the shovel. So no one's going to be lending me their gear anymore because I keep breaking everything. So yeah.
All right, we've got an opportunity to sneak down here this morning. You can hear the chainsaw in the background. The boys are doing a bit of repair to get one of the electric motors going to build a chock. So I'm going to sneak out and see if I can catch a barra. I've seen a couple of crocodiles, so I'm going to stay up on this high bank. There's a bit of slow water down there. I'm just going to pop that little Berkeley frenzy and give it a few tweaks, and hopefully we can start the day with a little early morning barra. Yep. Oh, nice barra too to start the morning off. He's heading downwind. Don't go too far that way. Oh, don't want to get too close to that water, I can tell you. He's using that run to his advantage there. Don't you. There's a few things you've got to watch in this fight. Number one is you don't want to get too close to the water. The fish is trying to get me around that tree. He's had a pretty good go at it. Just going to get him up and see if I can slide him up that sort of muddy bank. So I'm not going in there to get him out. I'll give you the tip. So there we go. Oh, nice barra. There we go, he's eating that little Berkeley frenzy. I'm just going to grab him in there. That's the best thing about these barra. They're pretty good to grab in the mouth there. And with a nice little pair of pliers there, we'll just pop that hook out. He certainly wasn't getting away. Right. There he is there. Nice barra first cast of the morning. He certainly nailed that little frenzy, and I'll tell you what, that was a sneaky little fish in first thing in the morning. Beautiful. I'll slip him back into here. I'm actually going to utilise that nice slippery sand. He'll go, and zhoosh. What a great way to start the day. So what I'm using here is because when you sneak into these little spots, you don't need massive big outfits. You need something light, easy to cast. You know, you're working fish like that barramundi, your standard sort of fish you're going to catch. They don't need big gear. So what I've got on this little outfit, because you don't need anything big, so I've got a bit of 12-pound spider wire. It's a code red spider wire, little Abu Revo. I've run that onto a bit of 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. Probably wouldn't need fluorocarbon leader in places like this, but I find it ties well. It's nice and easy. Onto my little Berkeley frenzy. I've upgraded the hooks because we're going to be messing with a few heavier sort of fish. And that little outfit is going to be perfect for a trip down the river anywhere, whether you're chasing bass or cod or barramundi and sooty grunter. So I'll give her another shot and see if there's any more in there. So I'm just giving that lure just a jerk, so it dives down and pauses and dives down and pauses, and that's gives the fish the opportunity. Now I'm getting washed down with the current, so I only have a small amount of time here to get that lure working how I want it. So I'll get it to dive down pretty quick. So we're in the back eddy on the other side, so dive, dive, pause, dive, dive, pause, big long pause, dive, 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 and every time I pull that rod it goes brr, brr, and that's the action of that lure vibrating, which is attracting the attention of the fish around it. And that pause gives them the opportunity to find it, because in this fast moving water they're not only predators themselves chasing bait fish, but they can get eaten themselves, so they're all pretty wary, so they've got to make sure that if they're going to take the risk of diving out of their protection of their snag to get a feed, that it's going to be worthwhile. So the sicker and easier you make your lure to eat, more chance you've got of catching a fish on it. Yep. A little sooty, I'd say. So this one's a little sooty. He's eating that frenzy pretty well. Little sooty grunter. Pop that hook out. I'll just grab those pliers out of my back pocket. You don't want to be sticking your fingers in too close to the fish. There's hooks involved. Pull him out there, and that's a little guy. So I'll send him back in and see if there's one more or two in there before we go and catch up with the boys. Sneak a couple more casts in and we'll go and see if they need a hand, and we'll head off. There's a hit right there. There he is. Oh, get away from that tree. Oh, he nearly got in the tree. Oh, he has got in the tree. Oh, I got him out. Little sooty. He's doing a bit of unders and overs here. I'll just slide him up the bank because I want to go into the water and get him. So there he is. I'm just gonna grab that one there. Pull that hook out and we'll just grab him. Hopefully he doesn't kick too much because he's going to be pretty cranky. A bit dirty, but he's going to be fine. So I'll slip him back in. Go and give these boys a hand and start heading off on day 3 of our adventure.
There's no better way to start a day than bashing through some snags in the fast water. Look out, Jace stuck your head. Now while I try and manoeuvre this boat, Jace is up the front spotting for logs or anything that's, we're likely to hit that's just beneath the surface. A tinny is a great way to navigate this water. The shallow draft lets you slip straight over the top of any obstructions that are just inches below the surface. These fast areas have already caused some grief with the other boys, busting electric motors and even breaking a couple fishing rods, so we've been lucky. We managed to fit all our rods inside the boat, which is a good thing because anything that sticks out is going to catch the trees and cause dramas somewhere down the track. Sometimes you look like a pro punching through the fast water, but then it grabs you and gives you a little touch up. That's beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. We managed to push past a bit of tricky water, so now it's back into the fishing. Joey and Westy are already getting stuck into the action by the looks of it. The boys are pretty handy when it comes to flicking hard body lures. As we poked a bit further down the river, we hooked the first fish of the day. Now this sooty pounced on a power bay ripple shad, worked through some snags on this deep bank. You can see how strong these fish are when they use the current to their advantage. Side on, they feel twice as heavy as they actually are. Sooties are little balls of muscle, angry little fish that love to eat lures. After making camp late the afternoon before, we decided to pull up stumps early and settle down and chill out a bit more, sharing a few tales of the day's adventures. Today is our 4th day. It's our last full day on the river, and we've just had our 3rd night's camp. We've just got a couple little log jams to push through. The boys are still packing back there. We've cut our way through the first one, and we're going to push on down. Can't wait to see what's installed for us today. Hopefully there's some bigger fish. Certainly I want to get some more barramundi, so I'll be chucking some bigger lures for barra today.
Last night we snuck down to the water's edge with the big torch, and yep, not only did we find out that Jason had taken a dump right on the edge of the water, we did spot a few crocs. A little unnerving for the next morning's takeoff, but still, we were on the Cape. An adventure like this takes teamwork. I'm looking up, I'm looking down, I'm trying to make sure we don't spend too much time whacking into the trees. Are you going to catch anything today, Jace, or are you just going to sit at the back of the boat whinging about driving?
Over. We were already in fast water, and now the wind was starting to pick up. You could really feel it rustling through the trees and pushing us along just where you didn't want to go, just making things a little bit more difficult. At times all I could do was just a little short cast into a deeper hole and hope for the best. That's what I was after, a nice little sooty grunter just come rushing out and slammed that lure. Now the trick is going to be to get it out over these sticks.
That's pretty wild country to catch one. I just jigged that in the hole.
Sooties in this fast water can be a handful. The boat's going one direction, they're going the other, and then you've got current to add into that equation. They can just pull so much harder, making it harder to extract them from those sticks. They seem to know where home is.
Got in the boat, mate.
Yeah, you're right. In the fast water again. Finally. Sometimes I'd have a little flurry on the fish, and other times Jace would strike back and show me who was boss.
Oh, you see that one come up and eat it. That was a good fish. He had to climb over the snag. He was bringing it over the top to eat it. There he is. There he is. Get him out, boys. He's only a little one.
While I had my head down re-rigging, he was quick, of course, to fire at a cast at a good-looking snag. And it wasn't long before yet another sooty shot out of the shadows and molested his Berkeley gulp shrimp. Look at the leader. Look at the tag end. Bite that off.
No. That's like an extra
The weed guard.
tentacle. That's all good. You don't want to get too pedantic out here when you're fishing in the wild. I mean, if you're in a brim comp somewhere using, 2-pound fluorocarbon trying to catch brim in a comp, you might, but that's actually 20-pound fluorocarbon onto a little jig head. It's 8th jig head. It's a number 2. It's got a 3-inch gulp on it, 4-inch gulp. And we're going to have a little shot at trying to get one of these sooties. It's not real rocket science when you find them. We found them into this current. They're sitting in front of these trees there, waiting for food to get washed into them. All I'm doing is just don't have to do much with this because of that was the first one. I don't have to do much. All I'm doing is just letting it feed down the current. So it's sort of like it's a prawn or a shrimp that's been washed down the current. There's a heap of them chasing out there. And all I want to make sure is it's close enough to their zone, they're just going to come out and eat it. There it is. Oh, yep. Nice little sooty. Sitting in some very shallow water, so we're pretty safe standing where we are. There he is. They go alright for their size, these things. Heading back home.
Not everything goes to plan. We just came through this bit of water here and had a little bit of trouble. I got a rod stuck in all this stuff. Soft sand, there's a big stick sticking straight up in it there that I just stood on and smashed a toe on. But this sort of stuff happens all the time.
Fast running water. I got a rod stuck in it, one of the cameras stuck in it, and my hat stuck in it. So it's pretty crazy. I don't want to get too far out there, even though it is fast running water. We'll do it the safe way. Having a pole lure retriever is really handy in the boat, not just for getting your lures back, but for all sorts of things. We used it to hang up lights in the tree last night, and it's just a handy bit of gear to have. Never know what you're going to use it for.
Hi, I'm Westy. We've just come down one of the last segments of the Wenlock River, and we've had to negotiate a couple of log jams and get around some rocky boulders and so forth. So going down the river, it's just not all, you know, catching fish, slaying fish. It involves a bit of teamwork. So we've just had to negotiate around a big tree that's in the middle of the river here, and we've just decided to stop and have a bit of a chat and have a bit of a barra burger. So it's one of the best things about this trip. It's not all just fishing, but it's all about getting around and having a chat to mates and having a good time.
Cracking toga here, Jace. You got those good grips. Got it. Check that for a toga out. We're actually fishing for barras there, just fishing hard body lures, and I'm just using a bait cast reel for fishing the hard body. I love to fish my hard bodies on a bait caster, and this one's ideal for it. It's just a little Revo MGX, awesome freshwater reel. Cast these lighter hard bodies like a dream, and look at that, that's just a cracking toga. That's one of the better sized toga that we've caught on this trip. They're just a beautiful fish. Just check out those colours. Here we go, we've unhooked that little fella. I'm just going to pop him back straight away. That is a beautiful fish. He's like a big hard mouth. Away he goes. Ha ha ha! Wouldn't mind catching another one of them. That's good fun. Look at this country that we're fishing in. It's just tight, snags, just screams fish. We'll get another fish here hopefully. We'll keep plugging away here.
Oh, here we go again. Nice barra.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cracker. Just put us in reverse, mate. He is a nice barra. He's moving some water. That's your nicest one.
Nice barra. He's got it head first, so he's only just got the hooks in him. Jump on me. Nice. Nice spot here, boys. Here we go. Oh, look at that. This is why we travel the distance and do the miles. Get the smiles. Nice little barramundi. He's eating that little frenzy hard body just on the paws. You just don't know what you're going to get in these places. We've got Saratoga and Sooty, grunter, tarpon, archer fish. Now, finally a nice little bazza. Beautiful. Love your work, buddy. Thanks, mate. Wow, what a great fish. In the wild, these guys just account themselves so well. They're just great hunters. Great fun to catch. Not bad to eat. But this guy's going to go and he can live to fight another day. Yeah, I love this. Well done, boys.
Beautiful toga.
There's a nice little sooty and a nice little barra.
Double hook up. Different snags. We'll go back in the barra snag.
He's out. He's out.
But he's in the snag. No, he's not out yet. Now he's out.
Nice fish.
That's a cracker. Come on there, leggy. I'm out of here. That is a cracking barra. Jace blew me away because we've been catching so many small fish. He blew me away with the size of one that he had before, but if we can land this thing, geez. That's a cracking barra for in this fresh water. Absolutely crunched that lure. I've just caught a small barra off of it. Look at this thing. Woo! thumping barra, this thing. I'm not quite done yet. Yes. It's a nice fish, this one. Oh, it's got some weight to it. What a beast. For a freshwater fish, check this barra out. Just absolutely crunched the little hard body I was throwing in there, just tweaking it out of the timber. The fish before, maybe 35 centimetres, so I just kept persisting. And this thing just absolutely belted it and leapt to the surface. What a beauty. That has made my day. It's got to be, I don't know, it's getting up there. It's got to be well in the 70s, I think, this fish. It's going to pop it back in the water for a little while. We're going to grab a photo of this one. As I do that, there's a toga busting on the surface. We've had a really windy day today, and the togas have been super active. I wasn't expecting a barra. Not a barra like this. You just never know when a surprise like this is going to come along, and that was a surprise today. Look at that, straight back into the snags. It knows its way. Still got the shakes a little bit, but that's why it pays to bring a few outfits. You'll notice most of the trip we've been throwing light spin gear, but we also bring some bait cast tackle, because you never know when something like that's going to turn up. So when I'm snag bashing these deeper snags, I'm fishing some 12-pound spider wire braid onto this little Revo MGX reel, and this rod that I've got here, it's just a short fluger around 5'6" long, just something so you can do those accurate casts into the snags and battle those big fish out.
Oh, this is a nice fish, mate. This is another nice fish.
Yeah. He's a nice barra too, mate.
Yes, nice barra. Not as big as Jason's nice barra he just caught, but he's a nice barra. Any barramundi you catch is a nice barra.
He swallowed that too.
He has. Just on the paws, winding the lure down into where we believe the fish are, and just tap, tap, just so the lure dives, then it just sits there slowly rising. And it's like the fish should come up behind it, and as it's sitting there, they sort of got to make that decision, and that nice slow float slowly to the top, and he's just come up behind it and swallowed it. Literally swallowed it.
Well, that was our last full day on the river. It's been a great trip, but we've still got half a day to go, so we're hoping for another big fish. The highlight for me so far has been that 85 centimetre barra. It got me in the snag. We went back in, Jace got another barra. We've had some fun chasing some sooties and some toga too on the way back down. Jace was on fire with the toga on poppers. They're climbing all over it. So I tied one on, I got one too. It's just been an insane fishing day today. We've just caught so many fish, but now it's down to work. The wind's blowing all our cooking stuff away. Tonight we're having rice and apricot chicken on the camp oven. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to blow the boys away. It's my first time ever in a camp oven. This could be a flop. Last night was a bit of an experiment for us, cooking up the camp oven feast, 3 courses, and we haven't yet found out what the boys really thought, so we might just go around the campsite just to ask a few what they thought of our cuisine. Here's Dossie. He's a man of fine taste. What do you think of the meal last night, Dossie?
Oh mate, it rocked. I thought it was awesome. Good chicken, you know, last night on the campsite. Plenty of onion. It made for a very musical evening.
Joey,
Yep.
what'd you think of the dessert, the custard with the fruit in it? What'd you think?
Oh, that was beautiful. It was a nice way to finish the trip off on the 4th night. A little bit of dessert, a little bit of custard and fruit. It was delicious.
We like to sweeten you boys up a little bit, so you might have us
That's
next
good.
time.
Yeah, for sure.
So it looks like, Wardy, you're cooking up about the last 20 eggs here. Jamming a bit of cheese in. You're a fine cook yourself. What do you think of our feed last night?
Mate, I got to say, it was
An omelette.
for 2 rookies on the camp oven, it wasn't too bad. But, mate, for a camp oven feast, we had canned fruit and custard out of a container, and we had rice out of a packet. So, mate, you guys need a little bit of work on your camp oven skills, but I've got to say, it went down well, mate. It was delicious. Delicious.
Always looking for the easy way out, we are. We've only got half a day to travel today and quite a few kilometres to rack up in the stiller water. So it's time to make a move. The boys packed their ritual damper in the morning, and we're also quick to bang the first Saratoga.
65. There you go. Barramundi. These freshwater rivers up in the Cape are home to a lot of species, and probably nothing more recognisable than the old Australian barra. Ah, look at that. So there we go. Freshwater fishing in Australia is generally dominated by your trout, your cod, your bass in the southern states, but up in North Queensland, this is freshwater fishing. Beautiful little barramundi. We're fishing hard bodies. A bit overcast today, the water's a bit cooler. Fish are a little bit less active, the same as they would be down the coast and further inland. So what are we doing? Slow down. So we're getting that hard body lure down to where the fish are in those snags and pausing it. And this particular nice little barramundi ate that lure on the pause. It just sat there right in front of it. He's just come out, lit up and gone thump. I love it. Might have to do that again. Oh, this is a good fish. Oh, it's another nice toga. Oh, it's only just hooked on that cooling tank. Oh, a beautiful little Saratoga here. Well, it's not even little. He's just pinned. He's got that one treble just in the corner of his mouth. There we go. All right. Oh, look at that. This is fantastic freshwater fishing. This is the Saratoga. There's many different types of Saratoga. Strains of them all over the coast, from the Dawson River to Cape. And this is a beautiful Cape toga. Beautiful spots. Great colouring. Same thing, they're surface feeders, eyes on the top of their head. If you could feel that raspy jaw, that's, once it grabs something, it stays grabbed. And this time he's grabbed my Sabile. I'll tell you, magnificent freshwater fishing in the Cape. Doesn't get much better than that. These Saratoga are a prehistoric creature. They're mouth breeders, so they actually carry their young in their mouth. And this time of the year, they're out and about. It's not breeding season, so they're out and about hunting. Anything that falls out of these trees is fair game. So we're sitting here throwing those hard body lures, just cranking them down, just pausing them. So this one thought it was just a nice little minnow that had darted out from behind a snag, and he came over and crunched it. Now we're just going to let him go. How cool is that?
Yep, come on. Another nice toga. Joey's got a cracking barra just over here. We're going to go check that out. It's got nothing on my little toga. There we go, it's under the boat. Go check this barra out. Joey, that's a cracking barra, mate. Tell us how you caught that one.
Yeah, well, we started off the day just floating down the river, and I thought for a bit of fun we might put on a big tango dancer, 120 tango dancer. We just come through this little stretch here, saw a big croc slide on this bank that we're actually on now. I threw in just over there, a bit of a stick. The next minute, whoosh, up she goes, this big crack. And she started swimming up here, dancing the whole way. And I'm yelling at Westy, telling her, pull the boat into here, get away from these snags. We come in here and she does a big run, runs into that paper bark over there. And then we just started to beach her nicely after a good minute or 2 minute fight with her. So
For the fresh water, that's a cracking fish. Check out the side, hold it up. Now tango dance is a surface walker. That lure actually walks across the surface like that. So mimics an injured bait fish. That's obviously what that barra thought it was.
yeah, so no, it was a good fish, it was a good fight.
Awesome, mate.
What an action.
so far, nearly, isn't he? You want a photo? Get any tiger photos? I think you better get one of him.
Beautiful tiger. Looks so big now.
Well, Jace, what an epic 5 days. We caught all the species. I ticked off what I wanted to do on the first day. I caught my barra, I caught my Saratoga, and I caught my Sooty.
Mate, what a fantastic adventure. We went and did something we've never done before. Great bunch of blokes. We went camping and fishing. You really couldn't ask for more. It's a little bit overcast now, but it's been a fantastic trip. Seen so many things. We've seen crocodile slides, even saw our croc. You know, it's just been awesome.
No, it's been a great trip. There's been a few mishaps along the way, and that's to be expected on a big trip like this. So a trip of this nature might not be for everyone, but there's a lot of other creeks out there. Not every creek's remote like this one. There's creeks in your backyard.
So get out there, grab a fishing rod and a box of lures, tinny, canoe, kayak, get out there and have a ball.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out of this rain. It's starting to rain, so we're off.